Welcome, brave souls, to Harlots of Spooktalk, where the veil between our world and the next grows thin. Gather around as we share tales that will send shivers down your spine. Stories of restless spirits, ghostly apparitions, and whispers from beyond. I'm your host, Karli.
And I'm La Monyeka.
And I'm LD.
In this haunting realm, shadows dance in the corners of your mind, and every creak in the floorboard could be a message from those who have crossed over. Are you prepared to confront the unknown?
Tonight we dive into the chilling encounters that haunt our dreams and invade our waking hours. From spine-tingling EVPs that echoes through the empty halls to ghostly figures caught on camera. These are not just stories, these are warning from those who linger in the twilight between life and death.
So dim the lights, light your candles, and hold tight to your protective charms as we embark on a journey through fear itself. Welcome to Harlots of Spooktalk, where every whisper tells a story, every shadow hides a secret. Welcome, guys. Well, we came to my house today, so let's get down deep in some of these pictures that we have no really explanation for. They're just there. I mean, they're up in your face too. It's like,
sorry, this is supposed to be a spooky experience. Alright, so I want to take you to the very, quote, beginning-ish and share your first photo. This happened in her home.
yes. And my house is actually a newer home. I'm the first one to live here, but not the first one to live on this land. So, this photo was taken in my living room right in front of the TV. A lot of these photos are in my living room around the TV, just to warn everybody.
Yes, every single one of them almost. And I don't know, like, this one kind of looks like an elderly lady to me.
And this was taken in the middle of the night while we all slept. The baby was not in her crib at that time, in the pack and play. It was my granddaughter. I think she was in our room at that time, because it was dangerous. So what freaked me out was, like, nobody matches that even description in my house. So I can't be like, oh, the camera caught somebody walking by. Can't
no. I mean, the dress throws me off because, right, like, you see the leg, you can see the dress, but you see how, like, the lower part of the dress is kind of, like, transparent a little bit?
I feel like the hairdo, too, is very old.
Right, yeah,
like,
that's...
flicked down. Maybe may have had a flip or something. I don't know. I feel so many emotions with this.
It's very detailed, though.
It's very prominent, too. Like,
yeah,
there's a little bit of transparency. There's a little bit of, semi-detail. Like, you can obviously tell this was a woman, Maybe even just like a younger woman, not too young, but not too old either,
I don't know. The glasses give it away. She looks like she has glasses on.
Now, 2 weeks prior to this, we were camping, and I got a call from my neighbor saying there was an old lady staring out my window and asked me if we had somebody house sitting. When I told him no, and we realized for her to be standing in that window, she would have had to be 9 feet tall. Well, about 8 feet tall to reach over my counter into that window. So it was like there was no way somebody could be staring out that kitchen window because it's behind the sink, behind the counter, all the way up. So we all got really quiet. He's like, my neighbor's like, gotta go. I was like, okay.
He's like, fuck this. That's what I would have said.
I wouldn't know what to say either. I would have been like, all right, then, bye, guys.
I would be like, fuck that. I gotta go.
And then 2 weeks later, we caught this on our home's surveillance camera while we were all in bed, tucked away, nice and cozy, sleeping. Something else was playing. Yeah, something else.
So I'm going to share your counter photo. And just because we're talking about the counter area, right? Like, so over here, you can see
the window? Now, you might think behind that counter you can get to it. No, that counter actually extends. So you can't actually get to that freaking window unless you're standing on my counter. But The
Yeah.
face is what we caught in that one. Like if you look closely, there's a face in that window.
Mm-hmm. I can see the face.
And that yet again, oops, sorry.
And this in September, I know I'm just going to say, I feel like I need to say this. So, September of last year, if you were watching the episodes, Karli had a lot longer hair. When it's funny because when I looked at this picture today, and I'm like, man, that kind of has Karli's hairdo today. But that's why I wanted to point. I know that's probably weird, and I'm probably overthinking it. But I thought, oh, that's interesting. How did past her know past ghosts know about future hairdo Karli?
I know. In fact, I did add long hair. And this was taken at 6:17 in the morning. Yet again,
Yeah.
nobody was up yet.
Heck no.
It was
And
like,
so,
what?
oh, sorry, 1 second. And then, okay, so we have, okay, so,
camera off too. We got to remember
right.
that.
So while we're in the counter area, over here, okay, I want you to look on her right counter. I wish there was a way like to do the cursor. Look between the TV and then you see the printer, and then left of the printer. On the counter, you see that little black blob.
Oh,
That has legs.
It almost looks like there's like an arm or a limb sticking out of it towards the printer.
Right.
Is
Which
that what we're
was
talking about?
so weird
Just
because
kind of reminds me of like a goblin or a ghoul, like something that you
right.
would see like on a church at the top. Like if that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like a statue, one of those things.
This one is the one that has that face in it she just showed. But I'm going to go over what she's about to say. Look in the hallway.
The first time I seen this photo, it was the hallway for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the last time I looked at this several months ago, I thought, this looks like a cat. But now it doesn't. Now it doesn't look like a cat.
The cat is up on the table. The cat is up on the table. She wasn't supposed to be. But that is a cat. We did debunk that 100%.
Oh.
When we actually zoomed in, that is their cat.
Oh, we're like... It is weird that she has something sticking out of her mouth, though.
Yes. Like, she is a little and our cats were actually pretty small back then, so I don't know. Like, the angle might have got her wrong. But it's the hallway. We did debunk this. It took a little while, but the face we have not debunked in the window. And the thing in the hallway. Right above the door. Like, right between the door. I don't know how to explain it. It's an... If you don't see somebody standing in the hallway kind of looking this way, but they're too tall. Their head actually goes all the way up towards the top of the door. The smoke detector is right there too. So if that gives clarity how tall this thing is.
Man. I don't know.
Yet again, nobody was up. This was the same photo that we just showed you that we were isolating the window on at 6:17 in the morning.
So now let's get to the big... Do you see anything? La Monyeka?
I see. Well, I did see. I'm literally just taking. This is the first time I've seen this photo. So I'm just taking it in. Like, I'm looking at everything, and I'm seeing. I do see that thing. I see where she talks about the cat, and then I see that thing that's like it's just too big to be standing there.
Yes,
I see it all, but I didn't realize all this was in one photo, including the face still by the thing too. So I'm just like, I was surprised to see all this happening in one photo.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And you see that light above my bookshelf that's illuminated right now? That light hasn't worked in over 5 years. Before my dad passed, one of my last Christmas presents from him was the globe up there, and it has not worked. I have no plug for it anymore.
It's prominently shining.
Yes, and it hasn't turned on in 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's obviously on. So I don't know how, when it's not plugged in, it's not recharged, and it does no longer work.
So for everybody watching, like, just take a breath. Like, what do you, like, let's get into the TV stuff, but I'm kind of like, take a breath. Okay, so having the knowledge that like, okay, what are they talking about? Like, what is in her TV? So we're going to get into that right now. So let's start with this first TV photo. By this point, we were doing the show, I think, right? So let me make sure.
Yes.
Okay, this is the first photo. Now, before you say anything, look at her hands, look at her feet, and she wasn't even here. Like, she
No,
wasn't
it
even home.
wasn't. And look at the hair.
Yeah. The hair I kind of get,
Yeah.
because I'm like, okay, you're wearing a ponytail. The
Might have
hair was like, at that time, that was your
long
hair.
shaved, yeah.
Right.
But I
But
never.
you, sorry.
No, go ahead. You can explain it better than you know what I mean.
So you were at a doctor's appointment at the
Yes.
same time, and then you said some. I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong.
I sent it to you while I was at the doctor's appointment. I'm like, look what just got caught. Remember that?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're like, what? And this is the
But,
middle of the day.
but look at her hands and her feet, and like, just let me see if I can maximize this. Okay, so that's what got me was the hands and the feet, and then she wasn't home, and then she's. What wasn't something happening with like the door? You said like the door was opening, or
Yes, we had the door was actually open when I got home that day.
it's like.
Like
And of
something.
course, it's by the TV, so we're like, at this point in time, getting her photos. I'm like not thinking of anything about the TV. I'm just thinking, okay, that's where the camera is, But then,
And by the way, you got to add about 60 pounds on to her to
yeah,
be this.
Yeah.
Just so
yeah,
I never
because
forget that right now. What?
yeah, because even like you can see like I know it's pretty personal, but like her hips, everything looks so skinny.
That's not me.
Yeah,
Just,
you're not big, but you're not like super skinny either,
not
So
after
would
5.
we call this what would we call this apparition here?
A mimic, I was told.
Yes. Just want to make sure. This is what we're talking.
Yeah, I just don't
In
say that.
my
I don't say the word. I don't like. That's my worst nightmare. Like, oh no, I can go on and on about that subject. I have so many videos. Like, I mean, I didn't really understand what it was until I saw this photo, and then of course I go into a spiral of like looking at other people's stories that were like on camera, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I'm telling
I've seen one in my life up close. Swear to God, it scared the shit out of me when I found out what it was.
what?
you. Oh, wait till we get to the next one. This is the one we would really talk about with the TV. The one we
Like, I was
caught.
not even kidding. I popped
And
popcorn for this one.
yeah, my husband actually kept this picture a secret for a while from me. He was afraid to show me it. Remember when he finally like sent it to me? He's like, "I gotta show you something." I was like, "Well," he goes, "You're gonna." He really wasn't gonna show me this next one.
This one throws me through a loop.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, this is the one you sent to us right after he sent it to you, right?
Yep.
I remember this one. This one freaked me out. Like, I'm
And
not
look
even
at
gonna lie. I stayed up for a
the
couple
guy.
days on that one.
If you all
Yeah.
notice the date, it's every 2 days in September. We caught something. Every
What?
2 to 3 days.
What were you doing in September?
I don't know. I really don't.
So I thought that this one kind of looked crazy because it looks like it has two heads. You see a foot coming out of the TV. I didn't think it
It
was
looks
coming
like
out
it's
of the TV.
coming from the TV.
Right. And then it looks like it's holding a boy upside down.
It's like floating. It's not
I
touching
feel
the
like it's
ground.
forming, coming out. Like it's coming
Yeah.
out as it's forming. This is probably one of the best ones I've seen in a long time, too. It shows the transition.
Mm-hmm.
And what gets to me is every time I see this photo, my hair stands right up on end. Because believe it or not, I was home in the shower. Like, right, it was 10:41 in the morning. I was getting ready for my doctor's appointment that day. Because I have my heart problems. I go every so often. A lot. But
Yeah.
that's why he didn't want to show me it. He knew I was home alone. And where I was at this time. He was actually kind of scared to show me it.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, it's just so wild.
This right here?
His hands.
Yeah, this is...
Now this
Do
is
you
the
remember when I
same
told you
day.
about the mirror?
Hmm.
How that thing came out of the mirror in the photo that my dad's girlfriend took? This
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of that, like this coming out of something that
This is the same
she has
day
to
the other one was taken. The mimic, just a couple hours prior. I was actually getting ready for that doctor's appointment.
Oh my gosh, look at your cat. To the
Sitting
right, by
there
the way.
looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah. Your cat's like, what
I
the
couldn't imagine what the
hell?
cat was going through. Like,
No, that's
because think about it, you
terrible.
said you were getting ready, and this thing's coming out, and then all of a sudden we see a mimic after. So,
Yes. Right after I left this house is when we seen the next picture.
I mean, is it weird to say that this looks like it may have had a striped shirt coming out as it was
Oh
coming? Like,
yeah.
did you see what I'm saying? You see the stripes?
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
the
I do.
stripes.
But then the mimic that we see had a gray shirt. So,
What
like,
Just
is this what it was
is
looking
it?
like when it got here, or is it something else? You know?
I don't know, but I would love to know what this is.
do
Like,
we
with
though? Like I
yes, I
do,
do,
but I don't.
so I can get it out. Because we
Yeah,
can't
that's
get
true.
something out unless we know what we're dealing with.
That's
Yeah.
true. If conjuring has taught us anything. um but yeah, if you're watching, definitely let us know what you think these are. And like if you have a similar story, definitely share it. Okay, so going back to the hallway, not to change the subject, but the hallway. We did have one where it's circled.
Okay.
At first, we
Um,
didn't realize this was a cat, and it freaked me out. But once we realized it, we started looking other places, and like it was right there.
mhm.
Something just knocked.
Oh, that's probably me. Was that me?
I hope so.
I don't. Yeah. 'Cause- well, I'm sorry.
You're the one that circled this one. Remember?
Yeah, yeah. Because that was the first thing that stuck out to me. I was like, oh my gosh, the hallway.
It's tall,
Yeah.
and it's by that TV. Like
You gotta sage that TV. You gotta put
that's what we
something
were
over
doing.
it.
Then,
Your
between
house is one of the only houses I know that things come out on during the day too. And they
yeah,
don't come out like, oh, you know, a lot of times people get photos. It's when they're in the dark. It's when they're taking pictures in a dark spot. Your house
is lit.
shows them prominently in during the time where the sun is shining through everything. So there's no way to sit here and have people think that it's not real, you know?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
exactly.
people like, well, somebody walking. What they float? Like people don't float. I don't care how you trick your camera with a home surveillance system. You're not gonna get a person floating. Now
That's
that one
true.
they could say it's me all day long, but I'm telling you, I was not home, and I can show
Yep.
you doctor proof that I was in a doctor's office.
Yeah.
But what creeps me out is that other one was that if you looked at the dates and the times, I do believe that's the one.
Yeah.
And then we also have two in the kitchen. I just gotta find them. And the one that really freaks me out is walking towards my bedroom.
Yeah,
And
that
then a
one.
few
And
originals, yeah.
I used to have a heyday with that one. Like, I'm like, oh, do you need to go to the bathroom?
It like freaked me out when it first happened. I was like, why do we do this now? Right now, I
Hmm.
hate to say this, we actually have our cameras off.
Yeah.
I need a break from the pictures. We had their cameras off actually for a little while now. Um, I'm sick of opening my phone and seeing stuff that's here when I'm home alone, or
Yeah.
when I'm not here and I'm about to walk back in the house, or when I just leave. It's like it always happens
When you're
either,
there.
Yeah.
yeah, when we're asleep or when I leave or when I'm in the shower, and it's like that's creepy. Like,
Yeah.
I
oh,
agree.
I think you're a lot braver than both of us. We would have been out of there a long time ago.
I'm like, I'm
I'd have been sleeping at
moving.
Mary's house.
I know. I've been
I would
like,
have
I'm
went to the
moving.
neighbors.
Come on over. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode. This one is a pretty short one, but we want to know your thoughts. So
yes.
remember to share it to
If
Harlots.
you have any photos like ours too, please show. Please send
Oh,
them to
yes.
us, and we will definitely discuss them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Even bring you on as a guest if
Yes,
you
I
want.
would love somebody else to like let me know how they got through this. Like, what their dreams were like too. I would love to know if I'm the only
Oh,
to have weird dreams about a person that I have never met before, but it feels so real.
I have a dream like that once, and it was like I can't get it out of my head. It's like I was wearing a red dress. I had been in like Africa or something, and there was this my husband was feeding me to the alligators. He was locking me in a cage. He's feeding me to the alligators. The only story I can find about a woman being fed to alligators was like a traveler, and it happened during this time. So I know I was like, I always thought maybe it was something that happened in my past life because sometimes before I go to bed, I'm like, hey, like I'm praying, like show me something, a piece of my past life. So I kind of wonder. So I'm like,
Is that what it was?
I think so. I might have been a black African woman in a red dress that were my
Fed to
skinny,
the
stupid
alligators
boyfriend
by
or
a damn
husband.
husband.
That's probably why I have men problems in this life. But,
Trauma follows us.
It
yeah.
does.
So if
Well,
you're
we
not,
love you guys.
yes, have
And
a good
blessed
night.
be.
Have a good night.
Good night.
She moves like silver through the air. Long white hair, extremely straight hair. Moonlit eyes, you lose control. In her madness, you fall whole. She's got a laugh like shattered glass, twisting, turning, naked last. No escape from her spellbound touch. She'll pull you in, it's way too much. She's fierce like a storm, breaks away from the norm. Her voice burns bright, bathed in moonlight. Alva's on the rise, she's insane. Luna Queen drives you insane. Her hair's her dress, her dances wild. She'll leave you lost and beguiled. Oh, Alva's out tonight, no time for sadness. Unpredictable, full of madness. She'll twist your mind, bend your will, and leave you chasing her thrill. Alva, Alva, she's the moon's delight. Alva, Alva, dressed in glowing white. Alva, Alva, madness in her eyes. Alva, no one survives. Pale skin shines in the lunar beams. Her world's not real, but more than it seems. She'll pull you in, game she'll play, spin your head, then drift away. Every step's a calculated risk. You can't predict a mind so brisk. Her laughter's wicked, playful sin. Just when you think you'll win, she's fierce like a storm, breaks away from the norm. Her voice burns bright, bathed in moonlight. Alva's on the rise, she's insane. Luna Queen drives you insane. Her hair's her dress, her dances wild. She'll leave you lost and beguiled. Oh, Alva's out tonight, unpredictable, full of spite. She'll twist your mind, bend your will, and leave you chasing her thrill. Alva, Alva, she's the moon's delight.